Welcome to the deep dive. You're here because you want to, get to the heart of ideas fast.
And today, we're really focusing on the thinking of Johnny from Rest Generation.
Specifically that slogan, we rest deeper and deeper to all of God and unto none of anything else. It's quite evocative.
It is, and we've got a couple of excerpts to help us unpack it. One is called The Oneness of Times and Seasons, and there's another bit from the Rest Generation Global Family.
Okay, so our mission, if you like, is to really understand what's being said here about rest, about time, and maybe a divine purpose.
Exactly, to get the core message from these sources.
Right, let's jump in then. This oneness of times and seasons idea. It kicks off with Ecclesiastes 3.1, doesn't it? A time for everything. We all know that one.
Yeah, but the take here is, well, it's a bit different. It suggests these aren't just cycles we observe. They're presented as part of a life that's already designed by God. Sort of beyond our own choices or even awareness sometimes.
Okay, God's design within God, it says. So, totally integrated.
Precisely. In complete oneness. And what's really interesting is the idea that God is pleased with all these changes, even the ones that feel, difficult for us.
That's a challenging thought, like the analogy used. The tree.
The tree needing both the soft sand and the hard sand to really grow strong.
Right, so those hard times, maybe they're not working against us. Maybe they're actually supportive in some unseen way.
That's the idea, that these times and seasons, they're tools for teaching, for testing, leading us eventually, the source says, to complete knowledge of a pre-designed life.
Wow, okay. And it talks about different realms, like the realm of it is finished.
Yeah, it contrasts that with the realm of it is not finished in a person's mind. So it is finished seems to mean understanding you're part of this bigger divine plan where nothing is truly against you.
Whereas the not finished realm is where we get stuck in our own limited view, where we see struggle and opposition.
Exactly, that's the interpretation presented. And the takeaway seems to be that if you can grasp yourself as part of this designed flow, then you find peace. Peace with, everything.
Okay, that makes sense as a concept. So how does that connect back to the slogan, resting deeper and deeper to all of God?
Well, that understanding is kind of the bedrock for it, isn't it? If you genuinely trust that everything unfolding is part of this divine design, it allows for a much deeper kind of trust. You can start to let go of that feeling like you have to control everything.
Right, you can relinquish that burden. It's not passive exactly, but it's trusting the process.
Yes, actively trusting. And then that second part, unto none of anything else.
Yeah, what about that?
That seems to point towards releasing anxieties. The worries tied to specific outcomes in the world.
Like needing a certain job or situation or amount of money to feel okay?
Exactly. If your peace comes from seeing this bigger design, it's not dependent on those external things anymore. You're resting in God, not in those worldly securities.
So you detach from those anxieties?
That's the connection being made. And it mentions the Rest Generation Global Family, too.
Ah, right. So maybe that's the community aspect, people supporting each other in this way of thinking.
Seems likely. A community built around finding this kind of rest.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening, you can find more on their YouTube channel. Just subscribe, Rest Generation. And they're on Facebook, too.
Good to know. Okay, so let's try and summarize the key points we've pulled out.
Okay. First, this idea of divinely planned times and seasons.
Right, and that they have a purpose, learning, growth, leading to understanding.
And then the potential for real peace that comes from recognizing that design.
And that peace is what allows for the resting deeper and deeper to all of God.
And unto none of anything else. It suggests a kind of surrender to that larger purpose, letting go of the other attachments.
It's about shifting where your sense of security comes from, really, from the external to the internal recognition of this design.
Well put. From the surface level stuff to that deeper current.
This has been, quite a deep dive into these ideas from Johnny and Rest Generation. Definitely gives you something to think about regarding time, control, and rest.
It really does.
Yeah.
And maybe a final thought for you listening is, how might actually embracing this idea, this concept of pre-designed times and seasons, how might that shift your perspective?
Yeah, how might it change how you look at current challenges or even just your general sense of inner calm or rest?
Something to ponder, definitely.